What up, YouTube? You guys ready to dive deep? Let's dive down the current bear market bull run rabbit hole. So this is why I've been pretty adamant about Kadena, Flux, and BTC making up 90% of our portfolio. Luckily, Kadena is making up about 50% of my portfolio, which we started to enter at about $1.38, $3.46, $1.67. I mean, I've entered it like 20 times, all the way up to 20 bucks, and I bought some more at $14 or $16, and I bought some more at $12, and I bought some more at $10, and I just bought some more at $8. The idea of a bear market doesn't bother me at all. Honestly, I would honestly be more excited if Kadena continued to come down, because this is that one opportunity of a lifetime in my personal opinion, but I never give investing advice. You always need to do your own research. You always need to consult with your own financial advisor, and you always need to make your own investing decisions. You should never take advice from anything that's said on this channel as anything more than just educational content, in my opinion, and what I'm doing. So how I'm looking at this market right now, if Kadena goes up to $50, I'm not selling, right? I don't plan to sell Kadena at all, if I even do ever sell any. I plan to just borrow against it and take out loans. That way I don't have to sell an asset and pay capital gains tax on it. But either way, it would be stupid to sell it within a year and give 50% of your profits away for capital gains tax. So in this video, we're gonna go over the charts. We're gonna take a look at Bitcoin. We're gonna take a look at Kadena. We're gonna talk about market structure. But before we dive in, I just wanna talk to you guys about what I see here is the opportunity of a lifetime, right? Very few times in life can you look back at certain points and pinpoint that exact moment in life when your entire life changed for the different. Now I take a look at Kadena right now, and I'm thinking 5 years from now, I'm gonna look back and go, that was that one crypto that I wish I bought more of. That was that one investment I wish I would have worked a little harder. I wish I would have got a second job. Had I known that we were going to go into a bear market right now, or if we are going into a bear market right now, this is that opportunity of a lifetime. Now, I'm pretty sure when you start looking at these charts that just judging based off of market structure and how bearish the market's been, that everything should be giving us a green light to the upside. But that doesn't stop some big players from selling Bitcoin and crashing the market. That doesn't stop whales from selling a bunch of Kadena and crashing the price of Kadena down to buy it even cheaper, because it seems like that when they make the market super bearish, people are afraid to buy. People are afraid to put money into the crypto. And I would be too on some of these projects. Like some of these projects, like we've seen X, for example, the first cycle killed it. Absolutely killed it. Then market went really bearish. They changed the ticker. And this time when the market recovered, guess what? X didn't recover. We've seen Ripple still not be able to recover from 2017. We've seen Cardano took forever to recover. And now it's back at the same price that it was at the very first part of this bull run. Like when they were just talking about launching, NFTs weren't a thing. Like that was like the big hype that took Cardano up to this point, up to $1.25 or whatever it was, or $1.50. So where I'm going with this is there are going to be assets that you might not recover from. If we go into another bearish stretch for say 3 months or 120 days, kind of like we did in summer, if we go through that again and then the market turns bullish, do you know how many more new projects are going to be out between now and then? How developed other ecosystems are going to be like Kadena? Just because you had an asset that performed well previously does not mean that if we go into a longer bear market stretch, that as soon as the market turns around, your asset's going to do any good. It might even continue to dump. It might be even lower than it was before. Now, chances are very rare, because you know when the market goes bullish, almost everything turns around. But those parabolic insane runs that you got on a coin the first time, a lot of times that was because NFTs dropped or something launched, so you never really know. But you can be really confident when you're in certain assets like Kadena, that is a brand new layer 1 blockchain that's infinitely scalable, ecosystems underdeveloped, all these key pieces are coming into play. The longer the market stays bearish, the better opportunity is for me to buy an asset that I'm extremely confident that I'm gonna 100x on over the next 5 years. So if I don't need to be greedy and I'm willing to work hard, if I didn't already have 2 businesses that were running, if I wasn't generating money from YouTube, and if I wasn't doing other things on the side to generate revenue, I would go out and get a second job. I don't care if I had to flip burgers at McDonald's for the next 90 days. And that was my second job that I was working on top of working full-time and overtime at my other job. You guys watched me do it in January. I worked full-time plus 20 hours a week overtime, plus being a dad, plus coming home and recording 3 videos in the morning and going into my real job and paying people that I worked with at work to edit videos for me so that I could sit there and grind at work, pretty much paying off my bosses to let me, work on my content at work. And then from there, I would come home and still live stream an hour and a half to 2 hours every single night. I never missed a night, guys. You guys go back and watch my old content from like March. Like I'm sitting there like I look like a drug addict. Like can't keep my eyes open, like shotgunning Red Bulls and like dry scooping pre-workout, right? Because I'm hungry, man. I don't want to be stuck in the rat race forever. And I knew that this cycle was the potential opportunity of a lifetime. And it really has been. It's really changed my life. That's why I keep telling people, like, if you didn't turn 1,000 into over 100,000 in the last 6 months, you were not educated properly. Because if you knew just a little bit about blockchain in the industry, so if this is your first time into crypto and you just bought into crypto and the market's going bearish and maybe you have more money to invest, the best thing that you can do is educate yourself, guys. That is the best investment that you can make. In educating yourself is investing in yourself, and everybody will tell you that the best investment you can make is in yourself. So now that you guys got that message across, and why I say that anybody that understands what's going on in the market right now and sees the big picture with Kadena, if I'm right about this, there should not be one of my subscribers that is not retired by 2025. You have to be able to go out and do the work and stack that Kadena and, grind, hustle. You got to be hungry, man. Nobody's going to give it to you. And if you're not smart enough to realize that, so if the research that you do on your own and you study this blockchain technology and you go listen to the Bitcoin white paper 5 times and you go watch the documentary Banking on Bitcoin, and then if you go and watch every one of Gary Gensler's MIT videos and actually understand how blockchains are built, what blockchain infrastructure is, that's what I did. That's what really changed it for me. If you guys do all those things and you work 2 jobs and you're able to stack and invest in your research that you do, if the research that you do on your own time while you're doing your own research and consulting with your own financial advisor, if they all see what I see in Kadena and you're able to stack as many coins as I've been stacking, just continuously working and buying more and more and more, I find it very, very hard to believe that you're not going to retire by 2025. Now, that's my game plan. And again, I'm not a financial advisor, so you always need to do your own research. But let's dive into these charts and talk about it. So let's take a look at Jade protocol. So this is the one that we've been banking on pretty hard and doing extremely, extremely well on. Now that the price of Jade is down, APY is down to 11 million %, market cap's up to 259 million. The bond rates are still astronomically high. Like if there was a time to get into Jade right now, oh my gosh, because you can get Jade right now for the exact same price that I got into it originally. Now, when I got into it originally, don't get me wrong, the APY was 9 million %, but still extremely, extremely good. Now let's refresh this because for some reason, almost 21 Jade stake. So if I go over to the calculator right now and I say I have 21 Jade, over the next 30 days, I should make roughly 151K. Now I've just been compounding and compounding and compounding, but let's take a look at this. Total Jade right now is $5,774, and I have total invested $5,889. But we can see that there's still owe me 4.7 Jade. So now if I get 4.7 more Jade times $276, that's $1,104. Price goes up because the market's not bearish. If Jade continues to grow in price, which it should, if there are less people interacting in the protocol and they're putting less coins into circulation, that'll drive the price up. So say Jade goes back up to like 450 where it was, and I have total, I'll have 25 coins of Jade, roughly. I would have 11,250 bucks. So I'm gonna ride this one out. I'm gonna see how long this can go for. I really wanna be a part of whatever the FLF is when that actually takes place. So if I have to risk losing 5 grand over here, that's roughly what I'm gonna, or 6 grand roughly. I'm gonna ride this one out, I think, all the way down, because I just wanna do it as a learning experience. Whether I win, lose, it does not matter. The supply of Jade's not going up drastically fast. We still have less than 1 billion coins in circulation. They've bought and burnt $15 million worth of Jade. Total volume locked is still 145 million. Next rebase is in 5 hours. Market cap's still low. Like market cap's still low enough where I think of enough people come over here because the APY is still 11 million %. Now it sucks that it's not 1 billion %, but still. Okay, so this is a really good sign for us because like what they're showing there is like when you see these high spikes, right? That is most likely a lot of money coming onto an exchange for sell-offs because you consider that a local high. But when the black line is that far separated from the blue line, that's normally a sign of accumulation. So to think that we could be at a local bottom here, very, very possible. So what I see here is I see a key area of support, definitely one here at 39,000. So that area, that key area of support over here, remember how it kept us trapped right here for the longest time? You know, worst case scenario from here, I see us coming down to 40 and then kind of stabilizing there, maybe running sideways, maybe running back up to 52 and running back down, kind of like it did over here. Remember how the market acted over here and how long that 120-day period of just, you know, nothing but straight to the downside, you know, drama, bearish this, bearish that. Because of hyperinflation, I don't know if we're getting to a point where people are starting to feel it because inflation's literally getting so bad that unless you're making a 25% raise every year, things are getting tighter and tighter and tighter, and it's not going to stop. The government just started printing even more money, so it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. So, your home might be going up in value, but nobody's selling their home, right? So that even though your assets are going up, eventually you're going to get to a stagnant market where they can't print money, and obviously they're just going to keep printing money. So inflation is going to go up so fast, guys. It's never going to stop. Eventually it'll set into hyperinflation and it'll onset. As soon as the government can't print money anymore, the markets are going to crash. So we have the Christmas holidays, which I kind of warned everybody about. On December 15th in 2017 anyways, all the people that trade on Wall Street and stocks, I think the stock exchange even shut down for a week. I'm not really sure how it works, but rumor has it that a lot of players in the stock market start taking profits, and it's looking like where the markets are about to open in the red again. So if we see a really bloody day in the stock market, which is about that time, December 14th. So what's right, exactly when we predicted it would happen, 15th to probably the 30th, extremely bearish for the stock market. Now, if the stock market does recover, sure, Bitcoin is going to go up, the market's going to go up, but I think we're kind of sitting on a ticking time bomb over here. We're waiting on a spot ETF to really take Bitcoin to that next level. We're seeing them pop up in all these different countries. Canada is just dominating the USA as far as ETFs go. Our government is stopping us from getting into these IDOs. Ethereum cannot scale. Very few of these blockchains in the industry actually can scale, if only a few, outside of Kadena. So we're in an industry that, even though everything's built, like everything that was built on the top of Ethereum, for the most part is unusable. If ETH is your base currency and you have to interact using ETH gas fees, the currency is unusable. Anybody that got onboarded and bought Ethereum in the last 60 days is at a loss. They can't sell it, or if they staked it, they're stuck in it till ETH 2.0 comes out, and they just made the announcement the other day in Vitalik's letter that basically said that ETH 2.0 is not even close, at least a couple years. So that leads us in a position where like I thought that ETH 2.0 launching would be big enough to start a bull run, but we're not going to get that. Next Bitcoin halving's not for another 200 days. So if any of you guys are watching this, you guys ever want to see where the Bitcoin halving is, you just come over to my website, ryan-matta.com. It'll be right here on the homepage. And if you guys could do me a huge favor, and if you got a second, swing over to Twitter, follow me on Twitter at shotsbymatta. But on my website, if you're ever wondering when the next Bitcoin halving is, I got a countdown timer for us. Now, obviously, it's dependent on the next block, so this is probably going to be within a couple days, but it just gives you guys an idea. 2 years, 109 days, 2 hours, and 7 minutes. Now, bull runs always normally start about 6 months prior. So I would say we got about 1.5 to about 2 years before we really almost guaranteed to see another Bitcoin bull run. We've never had a halving happen and there not be a pretty much immediate bull run that follows it. But you also have kind of a bigger sell-off before them. So I assume that, miners and everybody know that price is going to be driving down, whatever like that. But we've also seen that the hash power is continuing to rise. So it's really awesome seeing that what China did, kicked out all the miners. They all migrated, moved to the USA. And in less than 6 months, the Bitcoin network hash rate has returned to its all-time high, which is just huge. So hopefully we stay above. But again, and then same with Kadena. What's really awesome about Kadena is it's just so, take a look at the sell orders, right? Amount of Kadena, 2, 5, 1, 12. Like there is legit, here's a one person on this entire order book that's selling 127 Kadena. Like, and they're selling them at like 950. Like there's not a ton of Kadena. Like if you just look over here, the total amount of Kadena on all these order books, I mean, it's barely, like down here you get up to like 700 coins. Like there's only people selling 700 coins. Now I have a order down here at 50 cents and say in case some whale decides to sell off, right? He has to eat up all of this order book. So with such a little liquidity over here, if one whale markets out of here with a big enough order book and he eats up with a big enough sell order and he eats up all this, it'll run all the way down to the lowest buy order. So I got some buy orders down here at, extremely low levels, just in case, gosh forbid, one sells off and eats up all this liquidity and then he has to fill my order. It's kind of how I'm playing it. I just bought some over here at 867 or whatever. I put it on my YouTube story yesterday. So who's selling Kadena? Nobody. Also, probably a majority of people that wanted to buy Kadena, like it was a great deal at 15, it was a great deal at 17, it was a great deal at 21, right? A lot of us have been buying up here, so I think a lot of people might be tapped out, but this is where the opportunity lies. Given the opportunity to work overtime, given the opportunity to take on some side jobs, getting the opportunity to take a second job. Like we don't know how long we're gonna be in a bearish market, but if Bitcoin does dump down again, it will bring Kadena down to that next level. And there is a key support between 740 and 566. So I don't think it's gonna drop much more than that. But if we go into a bear market for another couple months, the Kadena ecosystem is not developed enough. And that's where the opportunity lies, guys. Like this is what I keep trying to tell everybody. The entire market's bearish right now. which is great because it's an opportunity for Kadena to get more developed before the market goes bullish. So the more that developed that Kadena is when this market turns bullish, CADX launching, all these other things starting to get built on top of Kadena, it's going to be really freaking exciting to watch this product just absolutely moon. But the longer it stays down, the longer I'm buying. So that's about all I got, guys. So just to recap everything, do I think the bull run's over? I'm not sure. Are we going to go into a bearish market? Quite possibly. Am I going to sell any of my crypto? Absolutely not. I'm going to continue to do the same thing that I've been doing time and time and time again. Now, the low cap gems, the degenerate gems that we've been hunting, this is where those become extremely, extremely high risk, because if the project hasn't popped yet and we go into extended bear market, is that team going to be able to manage those resources, continue to develop that ecosystem without the drastic increase of price? Because when you have $1 million market cap, everything you do, you got to sell coins to do it, right? So they're going to be selling off tokens, selling off coins, which is going to drive the price down even more to fund the project. The idea is you get the product launching, you get everything going. If the market's bullish, you're going to skyrocket up and go, say, from $1 million to 50 million instantly. But when the market's this bearish, you know, it's hard to convince people, especially after they watch their portfolio just go down by 50% in the last few days, in the last few weeks. It's pretty crazy. So those of us who have been smart and been stacking good assets don't have anything to worry about. I'm still above my entry price on Kadena, even though it's down by what, like 60% or something like that, 70%. I'm going to keep buying. I'm just going to keep buying and DCAing in because the market could again turn around tomorrow, next week, 2 weeks from now, a month from now. What really worries me is Evergrade in March. So we got to make it through this holiday season. Then going into January, we could see a lot of institutional investors waiting for their books to finish, waiting for Q4 to wrap up before they start adding Bitcoin and cryptocurrency to their portfolio. And when the market gets down like this is that buying opportunity of a lifetime for those that understand it. And most businesses are starting to realize it. Anybody that got into NFTs, these apes like Visa, MasterCard, Budweiser, Adidas, like it's pretty cool, guys. So do I think we're going to bear market? I don't know. I'm just buying, you know, I'm buying the coins that I think are going to have the highest probability of surviving a bear market right now. So I don't know if I'll be adding too many more gems unless it's on a new ecosystem like Kadena or something I think it's going to pop off. I'll be a little bit more cautious about my gem hunting. Maybe even looking into focusing into some NFTs, because when the market goes bearish, the NFT game doesn't. So while the market's bearish and I'm just sitting over here waiting on Kadena news for the most part, I'm going to be over here just packing my bags in some NFTs, right? And really trying to focus on NFTs right now, or educating myself more, or learning Pact. This is a perfect opportunity for me to go teach myself how to code in Pact. I'm just going to play it out, guys. I'm just going to keep, my strategy hasn't changed, but I just wanted to keep you guys updated and say I love you guys and thank you guys so much for stopping by the channel, and can't wait to see you guys next one. Peace.